Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment. And joining me once again today is the honorable and somewhat disgraceful at times, James DeSantis. And so, James, if you want to give yourself a quick intro.
I'm back.
Yep, he is back. He does primarily game reviews on his channel, Ultimate Chance. Link will be down in the description down below if you are curious to check that out. He just did his top 10 best and worst, or I guess top 5 best and worst games of 2016, so be sure to check those out. If you are curious, and his top 10 most anticipated of 2017, which match a lot of what I'm looking forward to as well, and which you might see on my channel in the future, just hint. We are going to be jumping into our own separate top 5 most anticipated films of 2017 list, which ultimately adds into a top 10 most anticipated films of 2017 list. We are both looking forward to presumably all 5 of these films to some extent. And so let us just dive right into it. James, what is your number 5?
All right, number 5 doesn't have a trailer yet, but it does have 2 promotional images that make me very excited. And this is my favorite book of all time, of all the books I've ever read in my entire life. It. I do not like the original movie, or whatever it was, movie/TV, or movie, whatever. I didn't like it. I think that it dishonored what the book is, an intense psychological fucking warfare with kids. An amazing book. And this first promotional and second promotional image is definitely giving a way creepier, way more villainous vibe from our favorite clown, Pennywise, and I'm really just hoping that these promotional images flow into the first trailer we should be getting very soon, and then the movie that's coming out later in 2017.
Yeah, and a film which I'll just say this. I'm also looking forward to that film. I never saw the original, and I've never actually read the book. So I will be going into it most likely very blind, unless I pick it up sometime before now in October or whenever it comes out. But where we might get a trailer for it, you never know, is my number 5, which is Split. This is a film which I've actually heard really good things on so far from the few people who have gotten a chance to see it already. It's from M. Night Shyamalan, who before a couple of years ago, before The Visit, is a name which everybody hated because he ruined a lot of good films. Avatar. So with Split, basically James McAvoy, he captures or kidnaps these 3 girls, one of which is played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who has been mentioned in all 3 of these videos that we've been doing. Basically he has these 20-some multiple personalities and can change his body chemistry and everything. It looks very, very interesting and is easily something which I am really looking forward to in January. January is generally a film is a month of shit. So I am really looking forward to seeing what separates this from the shit and seeing if it is really a really solid return to form for M. Night Shyamalan. And apparently James McAvoy gives a fantastic performance in this film. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how much I enjoy this film. And it might be one that I have to see a couple times to really, really understand everything that's going on.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Split 2. I think it does look good, and I really like The Visit, so I have high expectations, or at least medium expectations after that. But my number 4 is actually a movie I would never have thought I'd put on my list, but after I really enjoyed the first one, John Wick 2 just looks really fun, just like the first. Crazy action scenes. I think they're going to get a little bit more into the world that it was building. I really want to see behind how these cases work and how they advance the ranks in that movie. And as long as they make it like the first, where you actually really enjoy the fight scenes but actually really like John Wick himself, I think they're going to succeed here and make this a pretty fun franchise every few years.
Yeah, John Wick is a film which I enjoyed. I thought it was good. It wasn't great to me, like it was for some other people, but it is one that I'm curious to see more of, and I really hope that it doesn't suffer from sequelitis and end up being just doesn't live up to the first one, and hopefully it surpasses it and makes it really, really good and continues the revived career that Keanu Reeves is having. My number 4, though, is going to be Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I have no idea what this film is going to be about. I've seen one trailer for it. It's apparently based on a really popular graphic novel or comic book or something, which, again, never heard of. But it stars Cara Delevingne, who I'm actually becoming a very big fan of after seeing the films that she's worked on, as well as Dane DeHaan, who I'm also becoming a fan of.
What she's been in?
What?
What's she been in? She did look familiar.
She was in Suicide Squad, which you hated, but also in Paper Towns, and some other stuff, which I'm blanking on. But she's becoming more and more known as an actress. Huh. It's also got John Goodman, Ethan Hawke in it as well. And it looks like this just really interesting space adventure. It could be on par with Guardians of the Galaxy to some extent, just being this kind of unexpected blockbuster, which I hope gets praised by critics and ends up being really, really good. Because the one trailer that I've seen just looks very, very interesting, and I'm just really curious to see just what this film ends up being. So yeah, easily my number 4 most anticipated of 2017.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for it too. I saw the trailer when I went to go see the last big movie, what just came out. One of the big movies, maybe Doctor Strange. And anyway, I saw this, Star Wars, and I saw this. I was like, oh wow, this looks pretty cool. It can either go the Jupiter's Ascending way or Guardians way. There's only 2 ways for that movie to go, and I'm hoping more Guardians. But my number 3 is Kong Skull Island. The reason why is because I really didn't like the last Kong remake all that much. Although it had moments of brilliance, but it was over a very, very long movie that really just didn't try to do anything new, just kind of made it bigger instead of making it newer. Kong Skull Island really doesn't have any restraints. It can go any which way it wants. The director has said right away, 20 minutes into this movie, you're getting Kong, and you're going to get him through the whole movie, not some bullshit 5-second clips. I also really like the atmosphere in this movie. It's like dark, yet it still has some humor that we can enjoy, and the cast might be one of the best casts I've seen in a big monster type movie. I got some killer actors and actresses. So overall, I'm very excited for this movie, even more so that we're going to get this Kong versus the new Godzilla very soon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was 12 when I saw the last King Kong movie, so I think I enjoyed it more because I was 12. There was a giant ape on screen. But I'm also very much looking forward to Kong Skull Island. Just the fact that it is taking place within the Godzilla universe, and the fact that more and more films and studios are trying to create movie universes, and this looks to be the next one, which might actually succeed after the MCU and the DCU. But we'll see what happens. It could be crap. You never know. But I think it has a really, really good cast. And yeah, this is one that I'm also really looking forward to. But my next one on my list is going to be Beauty and the Beast. As a big Disney fan that I am, and a musical fan, I cannot help but really be excited for this film. It looks fantastic, and it looks like a very, very close adaptation to the original Disney film. It's got Emma Watson playing Belle, who looks just fantastic. It has a number of really, really good actors doing the vocal talents for the moving furniture and everything. And as far as I'm aware, it's going to be having a lot of the original music as well, reprised obviously by the cast. So yeah, the trailer that I've seen just looks really, really good, really well done, and I'm just really, really excited to see this thing. It's going to just blow up the box office when it comes out, that's for sure.
I like Jungle Book a lot, so I could really enjoy this movie. I end up really liking it. It's just, I don't know, the trailer just looked like it was okay. But again, I thought the same thing about Jungle Book, and I really enjoyed it. So we'll see with that one. But coming in my number 2 is definitely going to be Alien, or the new Alien. What's it called? Covenant?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
I'm actually really excited for this movie. It looks like Ridley Scott took all the things that people complained about in Prometheus and kind of fixed it or made it better. We're getting the aliens we know and love, but also still remaining a little bit of a different world. You're bringing back the obviously highlight of the last movie, Michael Fassbender, and that's a good thing. And then it looks creepy yet exciting, and then the ending was like really a staple for me. I was like, oh, they're really doing the Alien justice again. So I'm very excited to see it. I think it looks good, and I think I'm really excited because they pushed it up 3 months. And usually studios, when they're not very confident in movies, they're going to push them back or leave them where they are. But pushing them up usually means either they want to throw it out if it's in January or put it earlier in the summer against bigger movies. They're like, no, this is good. We want people to know. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So I'm really hoping it's as good as it looks from the trailer, and also the promotional art is great.
Yeah, I mean, Prometheus is one of the few films which falls into the category of I own it on Blu-ray, but I've never actually seen it, so I'm gonna have to watch it before I see Alien Covenant. Um, but like you said, it did get moved up from its original release date, which shows that the studio has confidence in it, which is very similar to my number two, which is Life. This is another film which has kind of the outer space-esque feel. Basically, it's a group of scientists, or astronaut scientists, people, who are working on an international space station, and they basically come across the first sign of life, or the first biological substance outside of Earth. And I don't really know what it's going to turn into. It looks kind of like an Alien-esque film to an extent. But the only thing that we've seen in regards to the alien creature is just this little biological cell, which seems to attack one of the crew members and just becomes kind of this horror flick in space. It has Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds in the cast, and so just having these two fantastic actors, I think, just makes it have huge potential already. It was originally slated for Memorial Day of 2017. It's now been moved up to March. So just seeing that and the fact that it doesn't have to rely on a summer blockbuster release of sorts, I think shows that this film is probably going to be one of the best films of 2017, or at least one of the most interesting films of the year.
I never even heard of it. Now I'm very intrigued to go watch the trailer, but very exciting to see that now that you've mentioned it. But my number one movie, or trailer, or just movie that's coming out that I've seen the trailer that got me excited for the movie coming out, is War for the Planet of the Apes. This is how you do a trailer. This is how you set it up where you still don't know what the fuck's happening, what order the movie's going to go in, where are these scenes related. You just get a bunch of great, dramatic, yet intense scenes, and then you have two great movies prior to it that are building up this franchise to be the best trilogy, or one of the best trilogies of all time. Just everything from the casting to having the same director as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, to also having the same action type feel where it's not just blowing up stuff. They're going to have those moments, but it's really a dramatic, emotional story. And there's moments like when he puts the gun to his head, to Caesar's head, you're just like, oh shit is about to go down. There's just so many great moments that get you riled up. So yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes, if it's anything like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, will be in my top 5 movies of the year.
Yeah, the only thing which has me maybe slightly concerned about that film is that we basically know how it has to end. We know that the apes have to come out on top, and basically enslave the rest of the humans that are left. So I hope that doesn't fall into some of the issues that people had with Rogue One, in that it was too predictable and didn't really do anything really exciting or unexpected with its plot, because it had the same thing. We know that they had to steal the plans of the Death Star. That has to happen, but it could have done something really interesting in between that. So I'm hoping that this film, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but I just hope that it doesn't fall into the predictability realm that Rogue One did a little bit. But I'm also, like I said, looking forward to it. The second one was on my, I think, top 5 of 2014, or whenever the last one came out. But my number one or most anticipated of next year is called A Cure for Wellness.
Yeah, this looks good.
This is a film which I, again, don't know a lot about. I know it's based on a book to some extent, and it just looks very, very interesting. Again, it has Dane DeHaan in it, who apparently is going to be in a lot of my favorite films of the year, possibly.
He's great.
And it seems that he goes to this facility to retrieve his company's CEO from basically a wellness center in the Swiss Alps, and then it ends up being not quite what he expected it to be when he finds himself stuck there. And they're basically trying to cure some sort of disease which might not actually exist. I don't know. It looks very, very interesting. They just released a second trailer, which I ended up seeing in theaters, and it gave kind of more insight into what the actual story was as opposed to the first trailer, which just made it seem very, very ominous. And yeah, I'm hoping that this thing ends up being very, very good. And yeah, I'm just really, really looking forward to seeing what this thing ends up doing with its story, because, like I said, it just looks very, really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited for it too. It has this very creepy vibe from the first trailer. I haven't seen the second trailer, but first trailer got me into the mood of like, wow, this is weird, but I need to see it. And like you said, that actor he's always been one of my favorite young actors, and I'm glad he's finally getting more work, especially after I was like, man, he did so good in Beyond the Pines, and even in Amazing Spider-Man, he did his job. And I loved him in Chronicles, so I'm like, finally, he's getting more and more recognition. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I did just want to mention there are a lot of movies coming out, mostly in like worldwide this year, that I'm really excited for, that are really technically 2016, like Silence and another movie that just came, Monster Calls, things like that for worldwide are released in 2017. I'm very excited for, but I'm not going to put it on the list just because they're technically last year.
Yeah, and a couple others. Live by Night, which is a Ben Affleck directed gangster film, which looks really good. And then Hidden Figures, which is apparently one of the better films to be released technically this year, but in wide release in, I think, next week. And so that one also looks really good. A couple other just kind of honorable mentions, honorable mentions that we didn't really get to. Obviously, you noticed that we didn't put on any of the Marvel or Star Wars or DC films which are coming out, which we're obviously looking forward to, such as Logan, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Justice League, and Star Wars Episode 8. Obviously, we're looking forward to those, and we'll be going to see them and possibly both putting out reviews for them once they come out. And then one other one which I didn't get a chance to mention is called the Belko Experiment.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it just looks like basically your typical kind of stuck in a location. You have to do a certain. You basically have to kill whoever they want you to kill in a certain amount of time, or else a chip that's in your head is just going to go off and kill everyone.
It's like Battle Royale, but at work.
Exactly.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, it just looks very, very interesting. And I've only seen one trailer for it, and so I didn't even know it existed until then. But this is a film which I don't think it'll win any awards, but I think it'll be really, really fun if it does it well enough like Green Room did. Another one is Free Fire, which I think looks really, really funny. It's kind of just a fun action comedy just because of the cast that it has. But, yeah. I don't know if you have any other just random honorable mentions that you want to mention, James, at all?
No, those are the movies that I'm really looking forward to. I have a feeling most of them will be good. I think 2017 is actually shaping up, like I said in my gaming video, to be one of the best years for both movies and games. That's something special because right off the bat, besides January, coming in February and especially March, you're coming in with like a lot of heavy hitters. Like every week is a good looking movie, and you're just like, damn, this used to not happen till like May. What is up? So I'm really just hoping this year we're going to get a good mix of movies again. I think with horror they're doing that already with A Cure for Wellness and the Belko Experiment and all that. But also I think this year we're going to get blockbusters that deliver, which is what we failed last year in my opinion. I think we're going to get some really heavy hitters with Spider-Man, Guardians. I think Wonder Woman's going to break the DC curse. And then I also think Justice League can be potentially as good as Avengers if it really puts out all of its chips. So, yeah, I'm super excited for 2017, and I can't wait to do best and worst movies again in the summer and get to disagree on all the movies. It's so fun.
Yes, I'm sure we will disagree on many a film come the best and worst of summer 2017 list. And even in January, I could love Split and you could hate it for all I know. No. So we'll see what happens. But guys, those are our top 10 and then some most anticipated films of 2017. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I'm very curious to see what you guys are looking forward to on top of what we are currently looking forward to. Maybe I missed something which I'm just completely blanking on. But Let us know. As always, make sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. Make sure to go check out James's channel once again at the link down in the description at Ultimate Chance. Again, he does really good video game reviews. Always check those out when you can, as well as good top 5 videos and everything else which he is doing. He might bring back the movie reviews hint next year. We'll just see. Guys, as always, my name is Nick Pell. That has been James DeSantis, and as always, keep on watching.